The first time Lily Harper met her new neighbor, she was barefoot, covered in flour, and yelling at her oven. "Why do you hate me?" she demanded, glaring at the smoking appliance. A knock came at her door. Lily froze. "Oh no, I've set off the smoke alarm again." She flung the door open and nearly collided with a tall man holding a fire extinguisher. He blinked at her flour-covered face. "Hi, I'm guessing this is either a baking experiment or a cry for help." She stared at him. He had messy brown hair, warm hazel eyes, and the calm expression of someone who clearly did not have a burning lasagna inside. "I prefer to call it abstract cooking," she said defensively. He smiled. "Right. Well, I'm Ethan Brooks. I live next door, and your smoke alarm and I have become very close." Lily crossed her arms. "It's the oven's fault." "Of course it is," Ethan said solemnly. "They're notoriously jealous." She tried not to laugh, failed. "I am Lily. Sorry for the drama." He peeked past her shoulder. "Do you need backup?" She hesitated. "Are you good at not setting food on fire?" "I make a mean spaghetti," he said proudly. Define mean. It only slightly threatens human life. She stepped aside. "Fine. Come in, Chef Slightly Dangerous." 20 minutes later, Ethan had taken control of the kitchen. "You're cutting that like it insulted you," he said gently, guiding her hand as she aggressively chopped tomatoes.
"It did," she muttered. "Cooking shows make this look romantic. Cooking shows lie." Their hands brushed. They both froze. Lily cleared her throat. "So, what do you do when you're not rescuing damsels from burnt dinners?" "I'm an architect," Ethan said. "I design buildings that don't collapse, usually." She raised an eyebrow. "Comforting." "And you?" "I illustrate children's books," she said, "mostly about dramatic animals who make poor life choices." "Ah," he nodded. "Autobiographical work?" She gasped. "Excuse me?" He grinned. "You did scream at your oven." She pointed the wooden spoon at him. "That oven started it." Over the next few weeks, Ethan kept finding excuses to knock on her door. "Borrowing sugar," he'd say. "You don't drink coffee," she'd reply. "Research purposes." Or, "I think your package was delivered to my place." "That's a toothbrush, Ethan." Very suspicious toothbrush. They started having balcony conversations at night, separated by only a small railing. One evening, Lily sighed dramatically. "What's wrong?" Ethan asked, leaning against the divider. "I have to attend my cousin's wedding," she said, "and everyone's going to ask why I'm still single." Ethan considered this. "You could tell them you're secretly dating your devastatingly handsome neighbor." She looked at him. "Devastatingly handsome?" "I've been described as mildly symmetrical." She laughed, then hesitated. "Would you maybe want to actually go with me?" He tried to look casual, failed completely. "As your fake boyfriend?"
Strictly professional fake dating. "Of course," he said, "purely for research purposes." At the wedding, Ethan played his role very seriously. He held her hand, pulled out her chair, whispered, "You look beautiful," in a way that didn't feel fake at all. During the slow dance, Lily's heart thudded nervously. "You're very committed to the role," she murmured. "I'm a method actor," he replied softly. They swayed. "Lily," he said quietly, "what if I don't want this to be fake?" She looked up at him. "Good, because I'm terrible at pretending." He brushed a strand of hair from her face. "Can I kiss you?" She smiled. "For research purposes." He kissed her, soft at first, then certain. From across the room, her aunt whispered loudly, "I like this one." Lily laughed against his lips. "She approves." "Excellent," Ethan said. "I was hoping for a long-term lease." Later that night, back on their balconies, Lily leaned against the railing. "So," she said, "what happens now?" Ethan stepped closer, their hands finding each other naturally. "Well," he said, "I could continue borrowing sugar forever. You don't need excuses anymore." He smiled. "Good, because I was hoping to knock on your door tomorrow."
"Why?" "To take you on a real date." She pretended to think about it. "Only if you promise not to bring a fire extinguisher." No promises, he said. You're still banned from using the oven unsupervised. She gasped dramatically. Rude. He leaned in and kissed her again. And for the first time, Lily's kitchen wasn't the thing heating up. It was the neighbor next door. The next morning, Lily woke up to a knock on her door. She opened it cautiously. Ethan stood there holding a small paper bag and looking entirely too pleased with himself. No fire extinguisher? She asked suspiciously. Today I come bearing peace offerings, he said, handing her the bag. She peeked inside. Croissants. Did you bake these? He looked offended. I said peace offering, not threat. She laughed. So what's the plan for this real date? He checked his watch dramatically. Well, at precisely noon, I will escort you to the best coffee shop in town. Bold claim. And then, he continued, we will take a walk in the park like two suspiciously attractive people in a romantic comedy. She tilted her head. Suspiciously attractive? I'm leaning into confidence. Careful, it suits you. At the coffee shop, Lily watched Ethan argue passionately with the barista about foam texture.
It matters, he insisted. It's architectural integrity. You can't just collapse a cappuccino. The barista blinked. It's milk. Lily buried her face in her hands, laughing. When they sat down, Ethan slid her cup toward her, perfectly structured. She took a sip. Okay, I hate that this is amazing. I only apply my genius selectively. She narrowed her eyes. Oh, really? Yes. For instance, I still haven't figured out how to stop thinking about you. She nearly choked on her coffee. Ethan, what, too much? She softened. No, just new. He reached across the table, brushing his thumb gently over her knuckles. We can go slow. She smiled. Or we can go medium speed. I'm impatient. He grinned. Medium speed it is. That evening, Lily decided she was brave, which is how she ended up standing outside Ethan's door holding a mixing bowl. He opened the door, surprised. Is that batter? I refuse to be the girl who can't make cookies, she declared. I demand redemption. He crossed his arms thoughtfully. This feels risky. Live dangerously. He stepped aside. All right, but if we have to evacuate, you're explaining it to the neighbors. 15 minutes later, flour was everywhere.
Ethan had a streak across his cheek. Lily was laughing so hard she could barely stand. You threw flour at me, he accused. It slipped. You aimed. She grabbed another handful. He lunged for her, catching her wrist mid-attack. They both froze. The kitchen suddenly felt smaller, quieter. He gently took the flour from her hand and set it down. You're dangerous, he murmured. She swallowed. You said you liked living dangerously. He brushed flour off her cheek, his touch lingering. Lily? Her heart raced. Yes? If these cookies burn, I'm still keeping you. She smiled softly. Good. He kissed her again, slower this time, deeper, steady. A loud ding interrupted them. They both jumped. The oven, Lily gasped. Even opened it carefully. Golden brown cookies, not burned. They stared at them in disbelief. We did it, whispered Lily. We're unstoppable, Ethan agreed. She grabbed a cookie and took a bite. Okay, these are incredible. He raised an eyebrow. See what happens when you have proper supervision? She shoved him lightly. Rude. He caught her hand instead, pulling her gently toward him. Move in with me, he blurted. Her eyes widened. Ethan. He winced. Too fast. That was fast. That was not medium speed. She laughed. Very not medium speed. He ran a hand through his hair. I like waking up knowing you're next door. I like that you yell at appliances. I like that you throw flour at me. I don't want to pretend this is casual. Her teasing expression softened. You know, she said slowly, I was thinking something similar. About moving in? He asked hopefully. About knocking down the balcony divider. He blinked. You want to remove the railing? I'm an artist. I believe in symbolism. He stepped closer. So do I. She took his hands. Let's not rush the addresses.
Let's just stop being two apartments. He smiled, relief washing over him. I can work with that. Architecturally, romantically. She leaned up and kissed him again. From somewhere down the hall, a neighbor shouted, "Are you two done setting things on fire?"
Ethan called back. Emotionally? Never. Lily laughed against his shoulder. And this time, when she looked at him, there was no pretending, no fake dating, no excuses. Just two neighbors who accidentally fell in love over burnt lasagna and stubborn ovens. And neither of them planned on moving away. His POV. Ethan had always considered himself a rational man. He designed buildings. He calculated weight distribution. He trusted blueprints. He did not trust women who argued with kitchen appliances. And yet, here he was, standing on his balcony at 11:47 p.m., pretending to water a plant that had very clearly died 3 weeks ago, because Lily was on his balcony. She was sketching something, her brow furrowed in concentration. He cleared his throat. She didn't look up. That plant is beyond saving, you know. He glanced down at the crispy leaves. It's going through a phase. It's dead, Ethan. He sighed. You see right through me. She finally looked up, smiling softly. And that smile did something reckless to his heart. From Ethan's point of view, falling for Lily hadn't been dramatic. It had been gradual. Dangerous in the quietest way. The first time he noticed was the night after the wedding. He'd walked her to her door. She had turned to him and said, "Thank you for being brave." He'd frowned. Brave? You told me you didn't want to pretend anymore. He hadn't thought of it as bravery. It had felt like survival. Because pretending not to want her had become exhausting. Now, watching her sketch under the soft glow of balcony lights, he realized something terrifying. He was planning. Architect brain. He was calculating how her books would fit on his shelves, how her laugh would sound in his living room, how mornings would look with her stealing the blankets. He leaned against the railing. "Can I ask you something?" he said. She glanced over. "You look serious. Should I be concerned?" "Probably." She set her pencil down. "When you look at me," he said slowly, "do you see temporary?" Her expression shifted. "No," she answered immediately. He swallowed. "Good." He exhaled. "Because I don't." Later that week, Ethan found himself in a hardware store. He stared at tools like they had personally betrayed him. The clerk approached. "What are you building?" "Nothing," Ethan said. The clerk raised an eyebrow. "Then why the power drill?" Ethan hesitated. "I'm thinking about removing a balcony divider." The clerk blinked. "Romantic." Ethan rubbed the back of his neck. "Is it that obvious?" "Buddy," the clerk said, "no one removed the balcony divider casually." That evening, Ethan knocked on Lily's door. She opened it wearing paint-stained pajamas and socks that didn't match. He loved those socks. "I need to show you something," he said. She followed him to the balcony. He gestured dramatically. The divider was gone. In its place was open space, one continuous stretch of balcony. Lily stared at it. "You did it," she whispered. "I ran structural calculations," he said automatically. She turned to him, eyes shining. "You actually did it." He shrugged, suddenly nervous. "I figured if we're not two apartments..." She crossed the space between them and wrapped her arms around him.
he melted instantly. From his point of view, this was the problem. She touched him, and his brain stopped functioning. "You're ridiculous," she murmured against his chest. "I'm efficient. You're in love." He froze. She pulled back just enough to look at him. There it was, the word, love. He had known it, felt it, but hearing it was like stepping off a ledge. He exhaled slowly. "Yeah," he admitted, "I am." Her smile softened into something almost shy. "Good," she said quietly, "because I am too." His heart did something structurally unsound. He cupped her face gently. "You make me reckless," he told her. "You make me brave," she replied. He kissed her like he meant it, like he was done calculating, like some things didn't need blueprints. Weeks later, Ethan woke up to sunlight and the smell of something suspicious. He opened one eye. Lily was sneaking out of bed. "Absolutely not," he said groggily. She froze. "You're awake? You're not using the oven without supervision." She tried to look innocent. Failed spectacularly. "I was just experimenting." He sat up. "Define experimenting." She grinned. "Pancakes." He groaned, throwing on a shirt and following her. From his point of view, this was his life now. Flour on the counter, her humming off-key, a kitchen that was never quiet. He leaned in the doorway, watching her. "Ethan," she said without turning around, "if you're going to supervise, at least look helpful." "I am helpful." "You're staring." He walked up behind her, wrapping his arms around her waist. "I like staring," he said softly. She relaxed against him. The pancakes didn't burn. They ate them on the balcony. Their balcony. One long stretch of space. No divider. No pretending. From Ethan's point of view, love wasn't fireworks. It was this. Shared mornings. Inside jokes. Flower fights. And the certainty that the girl next door wasn't next door anymore. She was home.